TV sensation Judge Joe Brown is back, and he's better than ever. Wait until you see how he utterly decimates the sham indictments against President Trump and how he represents a massive surge of support for Trump among black voters who promised to send bumbling Biden packing in 2024. You're going to absolutely love this.
Now, if you're worried about downing Trump, you lose track of the fact that what you see, the indictments in New York, Florida, and Georgia are completely outside of the law. Take what this clown Bragg did in New York. Whether you like Trump or not, essentially what they did is indicted him for being the victim of a blackmail attempt. They said he attempted to bribe Stormy Daniels to remain silent. This guy didn't go to law school and didn't pay much attention when he was there, because when you flip the script as you were instructed first year, if you had to pay somebody to be quiet, you got blackmailed. So he's the victim of a felony. If you indict a corporation for failure to file an explicit report as to what the payout was, well, there was a court gag order. And if they filed the explicit report, they violated the court gag order. Okay, get to Georgia. I won't belabor all of the accounts, but I downloaded the 92-page indictment, and I was shocked to find that some of the crimes were that Trump is supposed to have advocated checking out Newsmax, Fox News, and some other conservative, religious-based news institutions. They're legal. Hell, I read them. So that's supposed to be somehow or another criminal now. All right, you get down to this thing in Florida, and they're talking about the documents. Well, let's forget what Trump did. Let's go back when he was not president of the United States and George Herbert Walker Bush was. There's a case from 1988, U.S. Supreme Court. It's called United States Department of Navy versus Egan, E-G-A-N. And if you read the concurring opinions, they say, since constitutionally the president is the commander-in-chief of the military and chief diplomat of the country, he has an inherent power to declassify or classify anything, any document, in any form, shape, or fashion he chooses. He can do what he wants with it because, guess what? The mandate that causes it to be prepared says it is for the exclusive purpose of advising the president on the state of our intelligence versus what's going on in the world. So he also has a fiduciary responsibility, it's been held, that you do. Once you take that oath, whether you are in office or not, it still binds you, and you have to make an assessment on whether archivists have appropriate security clearances.
Now, what Judge Joe just said there was absolutely huge, because this is a point that needs to be underscored over and over again. While all the other charges, the Manhattan DA, the Fulton County DA, they're all just outright absurd. I mean, just blatantly comical. The classified documents charge is unique in that they're trying to charge Trump for a crime that he constitutionally cannot possibly commit. That's what Judge Joe is pointing out here. The President of the United States alone has the absolute authority to classify or declassify any document he chooses. It's a power given to him by what's called the Presidential Records Act. The Presidential Records Act gives the president exclusive, uncontestable authority to not only declassify whatever he wishes, but also the power to remove documents when he leaves the White House without the right of anyone to take those documents back. And again, we have precedent for that. For example, when Judicial Watch sued Bill Clinton several years back to obtain taped conversations that he had with leaders on national security matters, which he took with him after he left office, and he kept them in his sock drawer, a federal court dismissed it on the grounds that the president unilaterally gets to decide what documents require archive security. So the president alone has the power to classify and declassify anything he wants and to take with him whatever documents he wants once he leaves office. Now, what's key here is that no one else has that authority. Not the vice president, not the Secretary of State, No deep state intelligence officer. No one else in D.C. has that ultimate decision-making authority. Only the president. And what the legacy media and the Democrats are actively trying to convince you of is that the one man who alone has that authority to classify and declassify doesn't, and all those who don't have that authority, like then Vice President Joe Biden or Hillary Clinton, do. That's the key to deciphering the blathering idiocy that you see coming from the legacy media. And obviously, Judge Joe ain't buying it.
I'll be back.
That's right, gang. He's back. It's time to show our support and celebrate the great return by clicking on the link below and getting your very own Trumpinator 2024 bobblehead in preparation for Donald Trump's glorious reascendance to the United States presidency. This collectible bobblehead from Proud Patriots is made with the highest quality material and really is a must-have for any Trump fan who wants to send some energy towards what's shaping up to be the single most glorious political comeback ever. Now, don't wait. There are just a limited number of these collectibles, and you don't want to be caught paying way more later on eBay from someone who bought one right now. So whatever you do, don't wait. Click on that link below right now and show your support for Trump 2024 today.
So you keep going into it, and you find something that is very disturbing. Individuals belonging to a party are going to do the equivalent of a child in elementary school throwing something at another child and then running to the teacher and saying, teacher, he's going to hit me. You just wait until you go, my mommy picks me up. You won't be able to catch me. Nah, nah, nah. See, that's what it looks like. And the idea that three individuals are going to, or three little entities are going to deprive the American public of who they want to vote for is absolutely disturbing. Let's say it looks like the National Socialist Workers Party.
Yeah.
Now, if you're not familiar with that, the acronym for National Socialist Workers Party is Nazi, N-A-Z-I. And we remember Adolf and Heinrich and all those guys. And
let me
what happened?
Let me ask this. Do you think they're going to put him in prison?
There's no way this should stand on appeal. What they want to do is take allowance of what Biden and Stennis and Byrd introduced 40 years ago, is legislation that allows a U.S. attorney for the specific purpose of crippling someone, bringing criminal charges, even if there's no chance of making them stick.
So there you have it. Judge Brown shares the same opinion with other legal scholars such as Alan Dershowitz, Jonathan Turley, Robert Barnes, that there is no way these charges stick via the appellate process, and therefore any convictions will inevitably get overturned. The outrage in all of this is that the political establishment knows this, and yet they continue to play along with it. And again, it's both Democrats and Republicans. The political establishment knows there's no way that any of these charges will pass judicial review on appeal, and yet they're doing nothing to stop it. And why? Because they're both in on it. They're both all in on trying to stop a Trump second term. In other words, what we're witnessing is a rigged system being weaponized by the man against a man. Is it any wonder, then, that Trump is absolutely surging in support among black voters, voters who themselves have felt victimized by a weaponized system? Rich Barris of the People's Pundits pointed out that while Trump won 12% of the black vote in 2020, which was a historic high for the Republican candidate, according to his polling now post-mugshot, Trump is now polling at an astonishing 19% among blacks. And it's not just Rich's polling. Fox News corroborates that level of support almost to the number. They have Trump polling at 20% support among blacks, with Biden collapsing 30 points from 91% support in 2020 to just 61% support today. This among the Democrats' single most loyal voting constituency. What Judge Joe is saying appears to be resonating with black voters like never before. We may indeed be witnessing a political paradigm shift that will consign the Democrats to a permanent political minority And the irony? They'll only have themselves to blame. Are you ready to join the resistance? Because I'm leading a group of dedicated, courageous patriots who can lead a spearhead into the heart of the secular globalist establishment. We punished Bud Light and Target, driven CNN and the legacy media to near bankruptcy, forced BlackRock to backtrack on ESG, and now we're seeing our conservative-dominated Supreme Court ending affirmative action and protecting religious liberty. In my Insiders Club, I show you concrete steps to take locally and online that will only keep this mass uprising going until the battle is won. Don't wait. Click the link in my description below and join my Courageous Patriots Insiders Club today.